When we're creating wealth, one of the really key considerations is how do we minimise tax? Now, a lot of our decisions aren't purely based on tax, but certainly the strategies we use really do have to consider tax. The problem is tax is a minefield and the legislation is changing all the time. But today, I'm going to give you a real simplistic view in terms of what we call the tax minimisation methodology. And that's what we're trying to do, is really move from high tax rates down to low tax rates. And as you can appreciate, the lower tax we pay, the longer our money will last in retirement. And of course, we can pass on more to our kids and we can have a nice lifestyle too. So I'll start off with the highest tax rate in Australia is actually 66%. Would you believe? And that's for children. The reason for that, I remember growing up in the 80s, a lot of people decided to put all their investments in their kids' name, trying to save tax. And obviously that wasn't quite kosher. So the tax rate for kids is 66%. So we can't really use that as a strategy any longer. Probably the next tax rate going down the list is the personal marginal tax rate. So if you're fortunate enough to earn a high income, this is the top marginal tax rate, which basically means almost every single dollar you earn, half of it is going in tax. If we then scroll down, the next tax rate is 30%. Now I would say generally the average tax rate for most people in Australia is 30%, but it also is the company tax rate. So if you own a company and run a company, whatever profits it makes, the tax rate on the companies are generally 30% as well. The next one we go down to is superannuation. Now, if we contribute to super, it's only 15%. So you can imagine, now we're talking some real savings. From personally, instead of paying 45%, we can reduce that down to 15% if we contribute some of your income to super. Now, this is where it gets really exciting. Zero tax. Once you get to retirement and you satisfy what we call a condition of release, you don't have to pay any tax on all your investments. Like, how cool is that? So I guess the main thing we're trying to do when we're considering strategies, especially for retirement, is use this tax minimisation methodology, where we're really trying to take you from paying tax at high tax rates right down to, in this case, zero. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and more coming your way soon.